going through it with someone who you really like in real life. And it just made that so much easier. Now it felt like I wasn't going through it alone. I was kind of, holding my stunt double's hand, holding Cynthia's hand. And we really had to build a trust with one another, because those fight scenes, if you don't do them correctly, people can really get hurt. So yeah, it was wonderful. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Hi,
Perfect.
Daniela.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine, and you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Yes, thank you so much for your time. Nice to see you. We spoke for Plane a couple of years
Yes.
ago. So,
Also a really good 90s-esque movie.
exactly, exactly. So, I love you on this movie, the accountant too. I love your hair, like the blonde
Thank
hair.
you. Yes.
You can use that too. So, when you read the script, what attracted you to this character, Anais?
Well, I saw the first movie in 2016 in theaters just as a fan, and I really, really enjoyed it. And so when the second one came around to audition, they don't tell you anything. So I had no idea who this was. It was just someone who seems like they might be dangerous. And so the sides are basically like the pages for the audition. um they kind of alluded to a person of like little words, but a lot is going on. And I remember thinking, I think this person's supposed to be scary. um so when I did the audition, I just tried to make it as still as I possibly could. um and which is the opposite of who I am in real life. And so it was hard to play a character that was just so kind of like stone cold. um and then funny enough, I auditioned the beginning of February, and then I heard that they passed. And I was like, I thought I did something
Yeah.
good there. And I was like, and not like I'm big headed or anything, but I was like, I know that there are not a lot of girls who are going out for this part who can pull off this scary thing. I know I did something, but they passed. And I was like, man, I thought I had it. And then sure enough, it came back around. It came back around, and I got a phone call from my agent like Thursday 9 p.m. being like, Gavin O'Connor, he only wants you.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
I thought they passed on me. And he was like, no, and now they just want you. And so don't screw it up. It's gonna be tomorrow. And it was so like terrifying. Um and thankfully I was also so, so, so lucky that when I met Gavin, sometimes like you meet someone and they just get you, and they're just
Yeah.
a fan, and they just love you. And it's like, I didn't even earn it. We just met. But I just felt nothing but love and appreciation coming from this man. And I was like, wow, maybe this is it. Like maybe I'm really gonna get this part. And so
Yeah.
when it happened, it was absolutely fantastic, because it was coming off of the a couple hard years. It was COVID and the strike, and nothing was shooting in Los Angeles. And so this,
Still, right?
yeah.
There is an article like last week. They're still like debating like when they're
Oh
gonna.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, big time. So I knew how rare it was. The fact that we're shooting in Los Angeles was just such a special thing. On top of that, when I finally read the script, I was like, oh my gosh, this entire movie is centered around this one character. I really
Yeah.
thought it would be supporting character, a couple of scenes. And
No.
so this whole thing was just, I just felt so, so lucky.
Yeah. In the beginning, I was like, I don't want to spoil, but in the beginning, I was like, well, how is this connected? You know what I mean? Like I was like,
Yes.
and then I was like, okay, now I got it. I don't want to spoil because people need to watch
Yes.
it. So I love your scenes with J.K. Simmons, and also the fight scene with Cynthia. What was like the preparation for not just for that scene, for all the other fights, all the
Yeah.
action scenes that you have.
It was pretty intense. You know, naturally so. Gavin O'Connor, if you've watched his previous movies like Warrior, and he's often worked with like in that movie, like real MMA fighters. And I remember Fernando Chen, our stunt department head, Fern told me, hey, look, just so you know, like I trained MMA fighters for Gavin's movies and they're professionals, right? Well, they're not used to 12-hour shoot days. So I'm just telling you right now, you have to really get your endurance up because they're going to be long hours. You're going to feel winded. Your stunt double's going to get tired. So you have to really like make sure that you're like in shape. And I remember just like, oh my God, this is the most terrifying thing anyone's ever told me. But I was very lucky, you know, Cynthia Addai-Robinson and we thankfully, you know, off camera, we became friends and we have a wonderful rapport. And there's just something about going through something as intense as learning that kind of a fight scene, which took months, you know, going through it with someone who you really like in real life. And it just made that so much easier. No, it felt like I wasn't going through it alone. I was kind of, you know, holding my stunt double's hand, holding Cynthia's hand. And we really had to build a trust with one another because those fight scenes, you know, if you don't do them correctly, people can really get hurt. So, yeah, it was wonderful. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. And I'm so happy like the Oscars are gonna have like this category for best
Yes.
in
Oh, right.
stunt.
So
Like
do.
it'll be amazing for them.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I think you do a really good job as an actress, but they also do a wonderful job like on those crazy scenes.
Oh, yeah. I think the stunt that should have happened a long time ago. I feel like they're the underdogs of this business. It's like they risk their lives to make other people who get all the acclaim, you know, they give them the shine. And really, in fact, Bronte Colugio was my stunt double. She's so wonderful. Also this year I shot a different film, and the guy who was doing the rigs was like the real life Spider-Man. Like he was #1 double, and I was like, wow, like stunt people really just, I think it's changing. I think it's changing slowly, and I'm so happy the Academy decided to do that.
Yeah, me too. Very, very, very happy, you know, and you know, like playing this character, like what did you learn about yourself playing her?
This was very different for me, this part, to be so still and predatory and stone cold. I think in real life I'm kind of or at least try to be a warm person, so it felt so very opposite of me. But I did enjoy it. There is something a little liberating about playing a woman who, when you walk into a room, you are not only the smartest but the most dangerous person in the room. I don't feel like those are shoes that a lot of women get to put on in movies. And so that was really fun and refreshing. And Gavin gave me a lot of freedom. You know, I wanted her to be blonde. That was my idea. And they said, okay. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. They're working with me. This is so cool.
That's cool. Yeah. And you should wear blonde as well. You're good on that. Also, like Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal on the movie, how was like this dynamic with them and like being the same movie as them?
They're well, first of all, it's a pleasure. You know, Jon Bernthal is so lovely, and being in a movie with Ben Affleck is, you know, it's really a pleasure. You know, Ben is someone who's incredibly intelligent. I think what he's doing with him and Matt Damon with artist equity, you know, they're changing their studio model to, one, make good movies. They care about making good movies. They know how to make good movies. And how you do that is you value talent and you value the crew. And I think a lot of people nowadays, they make content and they think, how can we do this the cheapest? How can we do this the fastest? But ultimately, you know, people who know how to make good movies, they know that the talent has to come in front of and behind the camera. So I knew I was in good hands being in a Ben Affleck movie, for sure. And he's wonderful. He's smart. And, you know, I hope I get to work on more artist equity projects in the future.
Yes, amazing. And talking about future, any new projects coming up soon that you can talk about?
Yeah, two. One, I have the Dora the Explorer movie that's coming out this summer, live action film. Can't say too much about that. And then the other is I'm hopefully end of this year directing my horror feature that I wrote, and it's all Latino cast. So we'll see. I'm making a swing at some ladies, some ones you may know, to hopefully agree to do this. I think my film, if I would compare it to something without saying too much, it's definitely like in the Ari Aster,
Okay.
Hereditary, that kind of a world. It's pretty dark, but it's a passion project of mine, and I've really wanted to make my splash in the genre space. So we'll see.
Amazing, exciting. You're just gonna direct or you're gonna act as well on the movie?
Right now I was going to be like a lead part, but I think I've switched around and I'm going to focus on directing and then see where I can put my actor stamp.
Amazing. Cannot wait for that. And just let us know when
Yes,
you can talk
absolutely.
more about it. No, Daniela, I want to thank you so much for your time and a pleasure to talk to you and a lot of success. And I hope everybody liked their content too, like I did. I love it.
So
Thank you.
much. Thank you. Have a good
Bye.
one.
You too. Bye. If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos.